If you care about your rights and how you get treated in society, this video is for you. If you don't care about your rights, I'm not talking to you. The information I'm about to give you in this video is at no cost. All you got to do is just pay attention. But what I'm going to tell you is going to keep a lot of predators that are lurking out here in society off your ass, whether they be a greedy landlord, a creditor, a slick talking con man, whoever. If you know the information I'm about to tell you in this video, it's going to save you a lot of headaches and a lot of problems. So let's start here. You've got one thing, the first thing you want to realize is that you got political power. You got political power because you got political rights. And your rights are found in the U.S. Constitution. Now, you don't have to know every right that's in the Constitution to understand your rights. But you do want to know one, and that's due process right of law. You got due process right of law. And due process right of law is found in the 5th and 14th Amendment to the Constitution. So if you know that you've got due process right of law, you got to be able to tell others that you know that you've got due process right of law. So in order to do that, you have to understand what it is. Now, it's nothing to get nervous or uptight about. It's straightforward and simple. Due process right of law is you have the right, whenever your life, your property, or your freedom is at issue, to have that issue decided in front of an impartial judge in a court of law. Okay? That's all you need to know to understand and properly exercise your due process right of law. And if you can do that, it's going to save a lot of headaches and a lot of problems out of your life that otherwise, would just bring you down. So look, due process right of law is the right to be heard in front of an impartial judge, okay? And whenever your property, your freedom, or your life is at issue. Because every issue that we run across in society, every controversy is going to fall under one of those three categories: life, property, or freedom, okay? So it's important that you know that you've got this right, and it's even more important that you let others know when it's tested that you've got this right. So that's what they call invoking your rights, letting them know, hey, this is my right, I know my right, okay? And it's going to get tested. Now, when it gets tested, it's going to get tested in a forum called a court of law. That's where all matters, legal matters that deal with life, property, and freedom get decided and get worked out in a court of law. So who makes up the court of law in America? It's lawyers. A judge is nothing but a lawyer with a position, okay? So understand first the arena you're going to be working in when you go to court, okay? So you're going to be dealing with lawyers, and lawyers come from mainly privileged background. I would say probably 60% of lawyers come from legal families. Somebody in their family was in the judicial system, whether in whatever, as a lawyer, as a judge, is some part of an administrator, what have you. 60%. So they come from this. They're basically born into the profession of a lawyer. All right. But we got to take a little closer look at lawyers because you're going to be dealing with them in the future. Lawyers mainly come from money and privilege, okay? Mainly, not all of them, but mainly, most of them do. And so because they're born into it, the blueprint of what it takes to become a lawyer is handed to them at birth. And all they've got to do is just follow the blueprint. And that blueprint is going to consist of getting an education, meeting the right people. So they know to become a lawyer, you got to have a college degree. You got to have a post-college degree. You have to have a law degree, okay? And you have to pass the bar exam. But I'll get to the bar exam in a minute. But that blueprint is going to tell the son or daughter, this is the route you've got to take. This is the networks you got to get plugged into. These are the contacts you need to make, et cetera, et cetera. So as soon as they go to college, they start that process right away. They join these fraternities and these secret societies that are geared just towards the legal profession. They got a secret society for every profession, everything. Doctors, the medical profession, the legal profession, the science profession. They've got them all covered. The secret societies have just mushroomed and blown up over the years and just multiplied constantly. So, but lawyers are gonna go to the legal secret societies, and so by the time they get out of college and get into law school, they're already well versed and indoctrinated into these secret orders. Okay, and these secret orders, their allegiance isn't to the flag or the Constitution. Their allegiance is to insidious power or interest. Okay. So know that about these lawyers. This is the background lawyers come from. So when they get out of graduate college and they come out of law school, they're already indoctrinated. They're already primed for their field. Okay, now when they take the bar exam, to get into the legal profession, you got to pass the bar. And when you pass the bar, you get assigned a bar number. And that number is a way of keeping you, the lawyer, under control. Because if your bar title gets stripped away, you can't practice law, and they know that. So the law profession has gatekeepers, and the gatekeeper is the bar association. Okay, so if lawyers don't fall in line, if for whatever reason they veer away from the fraternal and the secret society interests that they signed up for, they've got a way of keeping them, extorting and coercing them, into obeying, the authority. So this is what lawyers are faced with, and then so they come from this background, and then they get released into the legal profession in the court system. So you've got lawyers and judges that are under secret allegiances, and they're running the judicial system in America. Now, I've been in the courts for the last 18 months, and I've witnessed how these operations go. And this is exactly how lawyers and judges function. They've turned the court system into a secret society. They've just taken it and what they've done in secret, and they've just applied it in public, but in a covert way. So if you can remember your right and you bear in mind that you've got your right, even if you have the money to hire a lawyer, remember your right to due process. And you have to watch your lawyer, because if your lawyer knows that you don't know, you're not in tune with your rights, your lawyer will sail you up the river and come back and tell you that was the best deal that you guys could get. So, because remember, these lawyers are their allegiance is to a unseen order, all right, and an unseen authority. So it's not to the flag and the Constitution like you would probably think. So even if you have the money to get a lawyer, you have to stay on top of that lawyer. And you have to make sure that lawyer can account for everything. Even if you don't know the law, just see if what he or she is saying makes logical sense. Can they defend it? Is it consistent? Is it the same outcome for other people in your situation? That's the way you got to figure your way through the system when you're dealing, when you find yourself in court. But if you can do that, if you can remember this information about your due process right found in the 5th and 14th Amendment, and that any time your life, your property, or your freedom is at issue, you got the right to be in court in front of an impartial judge and have it worked out. And you know that these lawyers come from these compromised backgrounds, and they're compromised individuals working in the legal system. If you can remember that, then you might have a fighting chance out here in society. Peace.